I was just thinking about moments to be appreciative of. I remember one time, y'all, I needed the job so bad. I was going through this right here, but I didn't embrace it like I am now. Because it came so often, you ain't had no choice but to embrace it. But I needed a job, man. And I got a job, finally got a job. It was a new up and coming job, it was an opening job. And I normally don't say names, but the people that was over this job, my name Dan Allison and Brad, son, I can't remember his last name. There's two Brads in my energy, but this Brad, I don't think this Brad in my energy. But the other Brad, there's another Brad in my energy. I don't think they're so kind. But but these particular two people, Brad and Dan, I don't know if they were from Belgium. I don't think they were from here. But I needed a job so bad. And I was going through this mess right here, what I'm going through right now. And I got the job, and I worked all the time. I signed up to work all the time. I worked every day. I worked days off. I worked days that I should have been off. And then I offered, because it's illegal to do that now. Then I offered to work more hours. So I would push like 14 hours a day. 16, I think, sometime, one time. And he seen this dude, Brad and Dan, they watch me work. They'll come in and watch me work sometimes. Which I respect, because these are businessmen. They ain't got to do nothing. Actually, Dan actually started taking me places with him to do other gigs. And I would do the jobs, and he would teach me about business, tell me business stuff. And I just want to say I appreciate it, y'all. If y'all only knew how much I really needed that job, I was thankful for my job. It wasn't much. I wasn't making much, but I made enough, though. I started building businesses with that job and all kind of stuff. But first, though, they watched me so much. Them the same people I said that just moved me up. They said, you work too hard to be on the floor. And I was joking when I done got comfortable with them at this time. And I said, you know where you at? They don't move people like me up. We don't move up. I said, they don't move people like me up. He said, we ain't from here. You know what I'm saying? He said, we ain't from here. So anyway, he wanted me to be a radiologist. I said, well, you know, that's impossible. I can't afford school. I can't go to school like that. He said, I'm going to bring him here. I'm going to pay to have him come here, and you just going to take the main test. You think you could do that? I said, sure, I could do that. You going to bring it here? Yeah, of course. He brought the school here. He brought the college. He paid the college teacher to come here. The college teacher actually thought he was out of his mind, because it really never been done before. I didn't even know this could be done. So they basically skipped all the tests that I supposed to go through. But it was important tests. I had to take all the vitally important tests, so it was a straight test. But they just skipped the learning stuff. They went over to teaching this stuff with me for a while. And honestly, I had to pass it with a 90, I think, or something like that. But I ain't get but like a 80 or something. They just gave me the rest of the form. I was trying so hard. 85 or something. They didn't have to give me that for 5 more points. And then next thing you know, I got the job. Finally got a good, decent raise at the time. And I remember I was so happy and thankful. I still continue to go to work every day. Still continue to work 4 hours. And on top of that, I would get would get up early in the morning, and when I would get up early in the morning, uh, I would go ahead and stay all day long and deal with this credit stuff. I had to deal with credit bureau. Oh my God, you talking about 4 hours all the time, 6 hours. But I really wanted to fix my credit. I wanted to do everything by myself. I screwed up when I started getting in these relationships. I was going good by myself. But I started fixing my credit. I got my credit up. My credit was like 6 something. And in 6 months to a year, I got my credit up to 730, all 3 of them. I was proud of myself. I said, I ain't never going back to whatever that was. And this is the same thing I'm in now. Like, that's why I said I'm gonna embrace it now, because I'm gonna have to break down whoever been torturing me my whole life. They're gonna have to get broken down. But that's beside the point. We know that story. But get out the way, Geneva. Go on. Move. But anyway, I guess y'all be like, he named him cat. I bet y'all used to thought I was talking about him. I named my cat after most of y'all. Kind of run out of names to give them when they keep coming like this. But anyway, so I I started doing the credit stuff, fixed the credit stuff, and like I said, they continued to keep moving me up, but something started happening with the company where they started being harassed. And of course, this company turned over to new management. I hated that. And it started dwindling after that. But them were the best bosses I ever had in my life. And I can remember that moment so vividly because it was one of those moments. I ain't had many moments like that where I actually got some support and help. Somebody actually did the right thing. We had a good time. They would always want me in the meetings. They would always tell me, get me in the meetings, get my opinion on things. They love that. They absolutely love that. Get my opinion on the meetings. And I enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. But like I said, they taught me a lot about businesses and stuff. Because I was just fresh out the street, basically, and I was still complaining about the money difference. And they showed me and they taught me the difference in how to get money and how to take little money and make big money. And then that's when my interest in the legal world started to peak, started to get better, started to feel like hope again. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't know money do like this. I didn't know you could take this money and invest it in this money and get this kind of money. I didn't know it was this simple. But like I said, I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all doing great. I hope your family doing great. I tell God that all the time. But well, not all the time, but enough. But you learn to appreciate things when you don't really get support and help. Most people band with the other people and just start attacking you. I don't know who I am and who I was supposed to be to these people, but when they came together and started plotting on me, the relationships got sour quick. And that was another beautiful thing about it, because even with the female friend that I had that I know that probably could have worked out, when I went to Myrtle Beach and came back, and I seen that my family done visit her, that relationship was going down after that. So I don't know what the world my family had going on, bro. It's almost like God gives the family something to send the family generational wealth from the beginning. And the whole time, they kept re-navigating this for themselves, knowing they don't know what to do with that kind of money or whatever, and turning it into generational curses. But that's another thing with these individuals, these two bosses that I'm talking about. They, my family tried to visit or call that company, and they would tell me, and they would say stuff to the company, and you know, they're not supposed to do this. They would say stuff to, I ain't thinking about it. That's probably how they started having problems. They would say stuff to the company, and they would tell them about themselves. Cause Brad was the kind of boss, and Dan was too. If you snitched on somebody, they'll get you both in the office, and they'll see what's going on, and then they'll fire the one who snitched on you. And then they'll give you a chance to make it right, especially if you was a good worker. That's what you call good management right there. I don't know why I'm sharing this. I guess it's gonna help somebody out there. I just get tired of talking about the same old kidnapping story. We've been talking about it for years now. Only if somebody do right by it, right? God is, though. It's almost like everybody who's supposed to do right by it that don't do right by it, God taking it to them, y'all. He taking it to them, bro. Like, I put you on this mission to do right by my child, and you choose to do wrong. So, okay, now you would lose everything, even what you had before you even got on this mission. But anyway, they helped me out. They took me places, built me up, and that's when I started looking for love. Oh, I got this going on now. I can go find somebody. I didn't know you were supposed to let love come to you. I should have just sat down and let God brought love to me. Man, boy, what was I thinking? I'm telling you, later you start to regret when you look for something, especially if it's something that God's supposed to bring to you. And I learned the hard way, don't ever look for nothing like that. Don't look for love in no kind of fashion or form. Let that come to you. And the problem, what you need to pray about is that you notice it when it gets to you. And you don't avoid it. You don't abuse it. You don't misuse it. And you be thankful for it. But yeah, I guess it's gonna help somebody out there. You know what I'm saying? But that was me turning over a new leaf. But before that, I was in the street looking for record deals. You know, making music, trying this, trying everything. I didn't know it was so formatted like it is. If I did, I would have poured my energy somewhere else. I would have poured my energy into something else. But the experiences is what's more important in a way. It's the experiences that you learn from. I'm talking about I went through it. But when they put me in this situation, let's say I go out there, like I said, like everybody was saying, leave. I did that plenty of time. And when I do, it's something about, like I said, when it comes, you got, the area is one thing, gang stalking in just the area, but you got to be wary when you're being gang stalked in your area, because you might just be in a triangle. If you're in a triangle, it really ain't nowhere you could go. Your name gonna pop up on the systems, all kind of stuff. It ain't really nowhere you could go. You are picked to be the bait man. You picked to be the barrel man. You picked to be tortured. You are picked to be devoured. Probably most of your life, God forbid. You are picked, though, to pretty much suffer. And The only way that I know for a fact for you to get out of that, which I just learned in 2020, is to give yourself wholeheartedly to God. Leave everything alone. Be to yourself if you can. Be by yourself. That's the only way. And God will move that mountain for you when you do that. And I know that for a fact. My Father will do exactly what you expect plus some if you give yourself wholeheartedly to God. It ain't nothing I ain't never known my Father to get me out of. You know how I know? Because I was born in a situation where I was supposed to not be helped out of situations. I was supposed to rot in certain situations. I was supposed to die, if not rot in situations, so they can take full advantage of me and whatever the reason they're trying to take advantage of me. So it's just something to think about. And it's something to thank God for, y'all. But like I said before, because leaving the streets, leaving the fast life, leaving the good money, well, what we call good money, it's really Judas money, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe not always, but leaving the women, leaving the parties, learning how to embrace solitude, learning how to embrace growing by yourself, learning how to embrace growing without your group, without your crew, and then growing and evolving around your crew, because when your crew do see you, they're going to expect to owe you, and then you going to have to introduce them to the new you, and they ain't going to have no choice but to respect the new you. So it was an experience, y'all. It was a hell of an experience. But it's called trials and tribulations. And you just learn to be thankful for that kind of stuff. You look back and you reflect, like what I'm doing now. Because if they didn't give me that opportunity, I probably wouldn't have never been who I am today. I mean, yeah, I would have, but a lot of things probably wouldn't have happened the way it did happen. So, because before that, I couldn't get a job because it was part of this triangle, man. It's part of this gang stalking. This gang stalking is way deeper than what you see on the surface. Talking about business people, hospital people, law officers, all kind of different people involved in it. They put you in that triangle, bro. Then you travel. It could be as simple as an airport clerk. You getting your ticket. I'm telling you, it could be that dramatic. So I'm glad God cleaning this up, and I'm watching God clean it up. It's like every time somebody get in my way, when God they start to build me up, physically, spiritually, and every way. And as they start to build me up, somebody would intentionally come in that was typically doing it in the beginning, and they'll reveal themselves, and my ancestors just clean them up. Earth after earth. And y'all know what I mean when I say earth, I'm meaning groups of people. Earth after earth. And when I finally realized what God been doing, I said, yeah, Father, I can stay here the rest of my life and do this with you. Because I'm watching karma. I'm watching justice be served. And I'm watching God itself take vengeance in its hands. And God vengeance, letting God get vengeance, is far more better than you taking vengeance in your own hand. These people going down, bro. I'm talking about illnesses out the wazoo. They just got all kind of stuff going on. And I'm just sitting here observing and watching it. People who got me in little things they don't know that I'm in, working me to death, mimicking my energy, copying and pasting my energy, all that. Some people God is intentionally leaving them at the bottom and saving them for last. But I get the privilege of watching some of the ones on the surface. You know, I'm just getting the privilege of God taking vengeance in its hands. Put it that way. So, yeah. But it was like I've been in this experiment my whole life. And like I said, if it wasn't for them readers, I wouldn't have never even knew about it. God, if it wasn't for God, and directed me on what to do, and by me doing what God told me to do, I found out that I've been in this my whole life. Imagine that, though. Imagine getting up every day, not looking forward to a struggle, but getting hit by something different every day that's meant to not only break you but kill you. Imagine being tortured by people who were supposed to love you. Here go one worse. Imagine being tortured by somebody who do love you. Imagine being done in by somebody who do love you. You got to look at the tears in their eyes as they try to get rid of you. These people were so terrified of whoever they was working for. Even if they loved you, they'll still try to kill you. So the people who was close to me, they just started building up a different type of energy around me to where they would distance themselves from me. So when the abuse come around towards me, they can ignore me, especially when it's time for me to need some help. It was ruthless, y'all. Absolutely ruthless. Evil beyond measure. And I was like, God, what is this? But God was like, you ain't gonna die, don't worry about it. As long as you stay with me, you good. And God basically, the way God taught and the way my ancestors taught a little different. God taught like, it's part of the plan anyway, you gonna eat them anyway. You gonna consume them anyway. You know, the way God taught. You know, in a different way I use consume now. Not that perverse stuff y'all got going on. But don't worry about it. Because whatever theirs is yours. They keep attacking you. And then God was like, I'm going to change the jacket when it's all over. It's almost like I'm a vacuum. Just imagine a human vacuum. And all you got to do is do wrong by me. And that jacket going to vacuum you. That's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why I lived through so much. And that's why I had to go through so much. And that's part of the purpose of my life of being here. It was like these people have already been doing this and has been doing this for a very long time to a lot of innocent victims. There's been a lot of innocent bystanders. There's been a lot of innocent people, victims to this that nobody even know about. We know about people like Pop and Biggie, but this right here was perfected at the bottom. This was perfected in areas people would least expect, and made its way up there to like industry status. So this is the problem, not just for me, but this is a problem for us all to really analyze and observe and give God our all. Pray every day, meditate every day, and pray that God, which God is going to win the war anyway. Just give our all to God, basically. Just give our all to God. Because this is a mountain, y'all. We can't move by ourselves. Even if we work together, we can't move this mountain by ourselves. We can't move this mountain by ourselves. This mountain got to be moved by God. And like I keep saying, God's child is in a situation just like Jesus was. Not really for you to help, because the contract is a contract. The purpose of the situation was in Jesus' case was to free us. And in this case, once again, to free us, but not the way Jesus did. This time we got ourselves locked up. You utilize these moments to work together and free us out of this situation for good. And get off that stock on the shelf. Stop being a stock on the shelf. Peace and love out there.